Konnichiwa and welcome to episode 19 of the Leadership Japan podcast. And I'm your host in Tokyo, Dr. Greg Story, president of Dale Carnegie Training Japan. And much more importantly, you are a student of leadership, highly motivated to be the best in your business field. Today's topic is motivational leadership. Can leaders motivate others? Is the leader responsible for the drive, energy, engagement, consistent attitude, and innovative outlook of their team? Hollywood says we are. Rousing soapbox oratory, stirring speeches in the locker room at halftime, passionate battlefield calls for sacrifice are legendary scenes from the movies. What about at work rather than game day halftime? Leaders energetically telling others, be motivated, doesn't work. Yelling it progressively louder doesn't work either. The leader can create a work environment where self-motivation can flourish. Maybe. Why maybe? Most leaders seem to have had a charisma bypass. They were promoted because of their individual and often idiosyncratic technical expertise. They are not great communicators, not great with people, simply not inspirational at all. Lee Iacocca is well quoted saying, motivation is everything. You can do the work of two people, but you can't be two people. Instead, you have to inspire the next person down the line and get them to inspire their people. Here lies the problem. Not only have leaders got to be able to inspire their direct reports, they also have to be able to teach these same direct reports how to pass it on to their teams. Role model and teacher by example elements are combined here. Most leaders can't manage one, let alone both. To be fair, as leaders, we don't have to be saints or perfect, but there are 7 things we should stop doing because they are potentially demotivating the team. Imagine by being a little bit more self-aware, we can help lift motivation. Now, be honest. Check that this isn't you. Number 1, possess poor listening skills. How long do we usually keep trying to talk to people who don't want to listen? Once. If that is you, then we keep our best thoughts, ideas, innovations, and insights to ourselves because we know we are wasting our breath. If you happen to notice one day that you are the source of all the ideas, that should be a warning signal. The best ideas often come from those closest to the action. And by definition, in your more senior role, that is no longer you. 2, perpetrate the killer 3 C's. Criticizing, condemning, complaining. Many of us have seen demanding leaders explode with rage and disappointment, publicly tongue-lash the troops, and speak ill of individuals to whoever happens to be around to listen. This behavior guarantees fostering no risk-taking, slow decision-making, and sycophants. Maybe you are not that toxic, but putting people down makes it difficult to lift the results. So, study how to best deal with your people's mistakes. Those looking on may be silent, but they are thinking, but for the grace of God, there go I, and worry that any time soon they could be next. 3, promoting the black arts of cynicism and sarcasm. The sarcastic comments of the leader fillets team motivation clumsily and remorselessly. The cynicism of the corner office prophet of doom eventually kills all hopes for the future. You lead certified experts in boss watching. They take their lead from you. Want positive outcomes? Be positive in verbal and body language as well as action. 4. Lack of interaction. Every busy boss is balancing the trade-off of their own concentrated personal production hours with spending more time with the team. The question remains, though, in a busy life, how do we build common understanding, share ideas, experiences, and views? These activities require time. The introverted boss or the selfish, they died taking the hill, but I got my promotion, leader, fails to garner any real engagement. Don't go that route. Communicate, involve, share. These work wonders for team spirit. 5. Playing favourites. Childhood memories of the bitter taste of hopes and aspirations delayed or destroyed by favouritism pop up in the workplace whenever the boss is clearly favouring the few. You may be blissfully and innocently unaware you're even doing this. Remember, your job as a leader is to build people and manage processes. If you want to increase motivation, that means build all the people, not just your best buddies. 6. Showing a lack of common courtesy. You're a super busy boss. Are you barking out orders like a pirate captain with no thought to say please when requesting action or adding a thank you when it is completed? Do you come to work full of worries with a cartoon rain cloud above your head, black and ominous? Is the pressure making your mood grim and subject to major fluctuations during the day? It is hard to feel motivated working for Grumpy, so just double check you are showing sufficient respect for the team. 7. Using secrets as a power play. Everyone in the team likes to know what is going on because we definitely don't like surprises at work. Obviously, keeping secrets, holding closed-door meetings, and announcing sudden changes mangles the team's commitment. Managers themselves are often greedy to access the information trickle dripping down from above, but are miserly in passing it on. How about you? We have just covered what we should not be doing. But taking a positive slant, what should we be doing instead? Abraham Maslow's 1954 book, Motivation and Personality, introduced the now famous hierarchy of needs. He theorized that each individual is motivated by a progression of needs represented in a pyramid with the most basic needs at the bottom and the highest order of needs at the very top. He believed motivation is driven by the individual satisfying each level of need in a progressive sequence from bottom to top. He asserted that people are generally motivated to move to the next level when the more basic order of need is satisfied. We start our careers focusing on getting some money together to live independently, make the credit card payments, etc. As we progress in our careers, we gradually get more focused on security, being a contributing member of the team and earning the respect of others. Eventually, we focus on aspects of work that are personally fulfilling, that make a significant contribution and that maximize our potential. In Maslow's theory, the boss must create a motivational environment that meets the needs of team members at each level of the hierarchy in order to inspire them to strive to the next level. To do this, the boss has to know their people, to be sensitive to where they are in their current career stage and aspirations. The boss needs to communicate hope and the way forward together so the employee can get through to the next stage. As leaders, how well do we know the hopes, fears, dreams, and situations of our team? In the old model, the personal lives of the team members was thought to be an off-limits area to bosses. Not today. The team want to know the boss is in their corner actively working to help them further their careers. The younger the generation, the more vivid this idea becomes. Of course, the boss can't do it for us, but the boss can create the environment where we can do it for ourselves. To get people motivated, Get busy building that supportive environment. In 1959, Frederick Herzberg published The Motivation to Work, where he theorized that workers face two basic sets of factors in their jobs: maintenance factors and motivating factors. He related the level of job satisfaction to the presence or absence of motivating factors. Maintenance factors included things like relationships with team members, work conditions, salary, status, and security. This is an interesting viewpoint because many of us today may believe that salary is a highly motivating rather than maintaining factor for our team. Perhaps for the 1% on huge salaries, this is probably quite true. But for the majority of employees, this is not the case. Unless we want to start paying everybody huge numbers, we need to look for other areas to engage them. Herzberg found that motivational factors referred to achievement, recognition, the work itself, responsibility, advancement, and personal growth. Every one of these rely on the communication skills of the boss to create that environment where people feel appreciated, relevant, and inspired to try even harder. Working in big organizations, it's often hard to feel that your role has any meaning. This is where the boss connects the dots for you and demonstrates how important you are to the company. Your ideas are sought, your input valued, your work noted, recognized, and praised. Praise is one of the nascent arts of leadership today. There's plenty of praise in stock because so few bosses draw down on it. It's a bit like not telling your partner that you love them. You assume they know. So why do you have to state it? Recognizing employees gets the same treatment. Somehow they know you appreciate them, even though you never bring it up. Well, maybe not. Maybe they don't know. We have to re-examine some of our basic assumptions. In the 2012-13 global research on engagement, which was duplicated in Japan, and of those employees who stated they were very satisfied with their boss, less than half said they felt engaged. Now listen to that again. Of those employees who said, when asked, I am very satisfied with my boss, less than half said they felt engaged. Most bosses would be relieved to have their staff say that they were very satisfied with them and would therefore expect that their staff would also be highly engaged. The research results showed that we cannot be so optimistic. This underlines the need for the leaders to look for the points of motivation in their team, work hard on those, and to clearly isolate out and understand what are purely maintenance factors. In the 1960 book, The Human Side of Enterprise, Douglas McGregor introduced Theory X and Theory Y management. Theory X is top-down management, authoritative in nature, and McGregor found it produced poor results. Theory X leaders see their people as shirking work, untrustworthy, avoiding responsibility, etc. They must be threatened with punishment to meet objectives, given directions, and told what to do and how to do it. This is the boss ignoring the 9 things done well and zeroing in on the one thing done incorrectly. The micromanager, the bad finder. They have to watch them like a hawk boss. By the way, do you recognize anyone here? Is this you? Theory Y management, by contrast, creates a participative, team-oriented environment where management frees individuals to produce better performance while allowing them to grow and develop their skills. Leaders believe workers are capable of controlling and directing themselves, are more motivated by rewards and punishment, enjoy responsibility, and have capacity for creativity and ingenuity. This type of boss is open to ideas from the team, prepared to delegate authority, and someone trying to build both people and manage processes. They are a good finder, looking for the good. Now, if we surveyed your team about you, would the results show up as Ys or X's? Predating Herzberg and McGregor, Dale Carnegie introduced his famous 30 Principles of Successful Human Relations, published in his global bestseller, How to Win Friends and Influence People in 1936. Carnegie was not an academic, but he was a very practical man. His findings were based on 24 years of observation and experiment in his real-world laboratory. His conclusion was that the best way to influence the behavior or motivation of others is by adjusting your own behavior. The leader takes 100% of the responsibility for making the relationship as productive as possible by fostering a truly motivational environment. He did not say the leader was responsible for the followers' actions, but was responsible for the work environment and the controlling of their own attitude. Dale Carnegie's 30 Principles focused on providing practical guidance on achieving better people skills, including common sense, but not common practice advice, such as give honest, sincere appreciation. Arouse in the other person an eager want. Become genuinely interested in other people. Talk in terms of the other person's interests. Try honestly to see things from the other person's point of view. Talk about your own mistakes before criticizing the other person. Ask questions instead of giving direct orders. This selection from the 30 principles underline the leader's role in focusing not on what they want, but understanding what their team members want. Sales guru Zig Ziglar had a great saying: if you can help enough people get what they want in this life, you can get what you want. It's the same idea for the boss. Don't focus on what you want, focus on what your people want. Maslow, Herzberg, McGregor, and Carnegie have been telling us this for a very, very long time. This is how to get motivation going in the team. We may be slow learners, but now is the time for us to finally get it. Forget Hollywood. Go with the research and build the environment most favorable to creating high levels of motivation in your team. Good luck, and thank you for joining the Leadership Japan podcast. If you'd like to access more great insights and information, then go to japan.dalecarnegie.com.